Hey, two people, two people just last month, two people just last month watched our podcast, and they was like, "Hey, man, hey, um, hey, I got some questions, man, whatever." So I'm thinking, hey, we was at church. One dude, hey, I'm thinking they're gonna ask me something about just church or whatever. And then this lady called, and she pretty much a minister, so I'm thinking she gonna ask something about church, whatever. But hey, they want to know how to get this thing started, and that's why I called you the other day, man. Whatever. Hey, but hey, the lady, she's like, hey, well, I don't think I'm ready yet. I don't think I'm ready yet. But I had already said that, hey, and God told me, He spoke to me. He was like, hey, man, hey, make sure you get her number, because hey, she might not think she ready, but hey, if I say she ready, hey, she ready. And I
I'll
know
push
Turk,
it out of her,
And I'm gonna be honest with you. As soon as you said that, I have to apologize to her publicly in this forum right here because she sent an email. Last name starts with an S. Yeah, and I hadn't responded to it yet because I meant to have a conversation with you, but we went out of town for my son's birthday getaway. But I need to reach out to her and do what we can do to piggyback and get her up and running. Because hey, listen, you don't lose your light by helping another candle get lit. You know,
yeah,
we want to help her and
yeah,
get us situated
yeah.
and stuff like that. So
Yeah. But see, she texted me and she was like, "Hey, man, hey, I ain't really ready right now, whatever." And like you say, you was going out of town, so hey,
it was
I ain't
never ready though.
about it. Yeah, it's that because hey, I for sure when Turk asked me about hey doing the little thing, man, I was like, man, hey Turk, nah, man, I don't do that, man. Or whatever, hey, you know what I'm saying? He like, hey, Greg, man, hey, I need you to come on there.
You
I
got
need you
it.
to be my first guest, whatever. Hey, homeboy, it just ran, man, whatever.
Hey,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did hoodwink y'all though, because I already had all the episodes planned. I was like, first episode, but it's gonna be second episode, third episode. I'm still gonna keep calling you. But I want to
Yeah,
piggyback on what you said
oh, yeah.
about PTSD. As men, mental health is not talked about, or if it is,
Oh
it's
man,
really taboo. So
yeah.
I wanna talk about that a little bit, especially because being younger and being in a space where like I'm with some seasoned people, some people who have been through life. I want y'all to just expound on that a little bit. Like talk about, how you've had to come to terms with being okay with not being okay, but also being okay with like talking about your mental health.
Um. So, oh, let me see. I don't want to be too long
He's
winded.
crazy.
Oh man, talk.
He's crazy.
So I have a mole on my face, right?
Uh-huh.
And without looking in this camera, and actually finding the mole and seeing what side it's on, I'm 43 years old and I don't remember what side the mole is on, but I can feel it on my face, and I think so. I look in the camera, so it's on my left side, right? So PTSD is just like that from my perspective. It's a tattoo on your mental state that's mostly everybody else can see sometimes, but you really don't see it. To you, it becomes a norm because for me, the military taught me to survive in combat. And whether I spent all 14 years in combat or only 2 of the 14 years in combat, there were other things in the military that I have scars and wounds and tattoos from. I experienced over 7 suicides, 3 of which very close individuals to me. So that's like right now, I got a rule in my house. We really don't, I don't really like closed doors. I'm just getting to the point where I have closed doors as far as my kids in the bedroom. But if I get up in the middle of the night, I got to go in my kids' room and look over at their bodies and make sure they rise and fall to the chest. Because for me, if I lay back down, I'm not going to go back to sleep until I confirm that they're breathing. Um, if I get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, my bedroom is upstairs. I'm going downstairs and checking the garage door. I'm going to the sliding glass door and checking that door. I'm looking out the window to make sure all the cars are still there. Um, it's just, it's, it's I'm managing with it. It's not a showstopper, but it's exhausting sometimes because you got all these other things going on in your mind outside of the things that you got to remember to continue to do because you haven't dealt with them. And so at first, the military was having this thing where if you had PTSD, it was frowned upon. You wasn't getting promoted. People thought you were weak. No different than when you get injured and stuff in the military. If you go to what they call sick call, like to the doctor, to the ER, you know, you look like you ain't ready to be a leader because you can't handle a little bit of pain. Well, hey, feelings buried alive don't die. So if you in pain, you got to go get something checked out. So for me, one of the biggest moments I had in my life is when I went through military incarceration and my family was dangling and my career was lost and all these different things. And I said, you know what, man, I got to get some help. Because if I don't get some help, I'm going to mess up even worse what I've already messed up. And so I sat down with an individual at that time. It was a therapist. And now I have a consistent therapist that I talk to at least once a week, you know, funded by the VA. But I have to have that outlet because it's probably two people in this world right now that I can talk to right now. Two people, well, maybe three, but I know two people definitely that I can talk to in this world without fear of judgment. Many people think it's my wife and my mom, but that's not true. I wouldn't talk to them without fear of judgment because my wife look up to me in a certain manner and my mom look up to me in a certain manner to where I think whether it be a healthy judgment or unhealthy judgment, they still would judge me. Yeah. But Greg and his brother Jermaine, hey, I could tell them pretty much anything and they're going to give it to me real and raw. They might be judging. It don't feel like judgment. It's going to be like, hey, homeboy, hey, you wrong. You wrong. Yeah. And hey, if you wrong, then you do whatever you want to, hey, homeboy, I'm going to tell you wrong. And I don't have to worry about them saying, wait, I don't want to be around that dude or, you know, what that dude think, you know, whatever the case be. Nah, they're going to give it to me, Kaniz. Hey, you wrong. 110% wrong. And hey, you know you wrong. So just being able to share some of the hurt and pain sometimes
it's key.
It's helpful because sometimes it's not what we're carrying, it's how we're carrying it. So me sharing it to Greg or me sharing it to my therapist, they help me reposition it on my back or they help me reposition it on my shoulders to where it doesn't necessarily lighten the load. But if my right shoulder was going down and I was already cramping up, hey, the left shoulder ain't been used yet. So help me put it over there in a different perspective. But the main thing is you got to admit that you need to talk to somebody, man. Depression thrives in privacy. So you try to fight it alone. Then I ain't never seen a person who can't swim and they drowning say they surf. So you got to put yourself around the right people in the right environment. Yeah. So.
But hey, man, I'm really like from the old school, man. This mental thing, you know, and just talking about mental health, and all that stuff, man. Whatever. Our fathers and grandfathers and forefathers, homeboy, that's something they didn't do, man. Whatever. You couldn't be like, you know, if you was to tell somebody you was talking to a psychiatrist, they'd be like, hey, man, there's something wrong with you, man. You crazy.
Something wrong with you, yeah.
Man, how you sitting down talking to somebody, another man, about, you know, something you got going on or whatever, man. And Kaniz said something just a while ago about, you know, just getting it off his back, putting it on his shoulders, whatever. And the preacher say all the time, man, whatever. You got to go to the altar and take this stuff to God. But our thing is we go up there and take it to him. But before we leave the altar, we pick it back up and take it back with us, man. Whatever. You got to leave that stuff up there with it, man. Or whatever. And me personally, this mental health thing, man, it is just crazy. And me personally, I try to be an avenue for, you know, anybody that want to talk. And I have to tell Kaniz a lot of times, man, and I had to learn my own self or whatever. It's not our job. It's not our job to judge and give answers and, you know, reply and do all that stuff. It's our job to listen. It's our job to listen, man, whatever. Because, you know, God gave you 2 ears, so you can hear, everything, not so you can just respond and talk about everything that they talking about, man, whatever. So, my thing is, I just try to listen to, you know, what people saying and try to get understanding. And a lot of times I find myself, just putting myself like in Kaniz's shoes about, you know, the stuff that he done been through or what he going through, and all that stuff, man, whatever. And I just try to I have never judged him about anything we talked about or whatever, man. And me and him, we went on a little outing a couple weeks ago. We was coming back from the beach, me, him, and Jermaine or whatever. And we was having a not a heated discussion, but we was having a discussion about
a brother discussion.
A brother discussion, man, whatever. And I told him, hey, man, whatever, hey, homeboy, I would never judge you, man, because I love you too much. So I wouldn't judge you, whatever you do. But hey, like he said though, hey, man, Jermaine, we gonna tell him, hey, homeboy, hey, man, hey, you wrong. I'm with you, 10 toes down, but hey, homeboy, hey, you wrong about this right here, man. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. Hey, and I done been wrong about some things or whatever, 1 or 2 times, not many. Man, but just the mental health, part of black men or whatever, man, it's something that's it's put on the back burner, man, and we need to start bringing it to the front of the table, man. Or whatever.
But check this out, and Greg, I don't know if we had this conversation, so here we go. You're gonna get Greg and I started. It's gonna be 11 o'clock now.
Yeah.
You know where this mental health is starting? Because first of all, we got to realize PTSD is not just isolated to military.
Yeah. No.
It's called post-traumatic stress disorder for a reason. Yeah. Anything, you've been in car wrecks, you've been in abusive relationships, you've been molested, you've been whatever, man. Like you can have PTSD from church hurt is a form of PTSD, right? But for us men, and especially as black men, but I know for men, because it's not a race thing. What's the first thing we tell a young little kid let's go with your grandson, G. Mir's how old?
He just turned 4.
So Mir just turned 4. If Mir out there playing in the yard, and let's take it back to the old days, let's take Mir age and go back to when you was a child, or when I was a child, and even Turk for that matter. We 4 years old, we out there in the yard, we out there in sand hill at that, and we fall. And we scrape our knee. What's the first thing we're told as a black boy?
You better stop crying. Don't stop crying.
What you crying for?
What you crying for? So we're teaching these young kids that if you cry, it's a sign of weakness. When guess what? Tears are nothing but words that the heart cannot express.
Yeah.
And so we sit here teaching these young men at 4 years of age that if you fall and scrape your knee, or you slam your hand in the door, you do something that causes pain to yourself, or someone causes pain to you, you're supposed to ball them inside. Then we wonder why when they 16 and 17, they knocking the devil out of people because, they got all this anger and emotion built up in them.
See, Gilly talked about that on the pivot, man. He was talking about, they telling these young cats in the streets or whatever, you got to be hard, you got to be this, and you got to be that. But then when you get locked up, man, everything changes. Everything changes when you locked up, man. Whatever, it's a whole different world or whatever. So, all that street stuff, man. You can throw all that stuff out the window, man. Whatever. And see, like you say, PTSD, and I didn't realize that I had it when I had it. And this right here gonna be exclusive because I ain't even token this. I really just thought about it.
Come on, exclusive.
But, exclusive. So, my thing was, and me and my wife, we discussed it, but we didn't think it. We never thought that it was a thing or whatever. When my family members went away, we call it like go off to college or go on vacation or whatever. Pretty much incarcerated, whatever, man. You don't realize you pretty much incarcerated too, because it was a lot of times, man, during the holidays, man, whatever. My wife be like, we going up here to do this right here with the family, whatever. Hey man, I don't want to do that, man. Hey, homeboy, if my people can't do it, man, I don't want to do that, whatever. And it's a term of PTSD, man. And I didn't realize it until, years later, years down the road or whatever, I was going through some mental stuff because, I'm pretty much mad at the world or whatever, man, mad at everybody or whatever, man, about this, something that I had no control over, man, whatever. And I had to get to the point where, I had to just realize and, tell God to forgive me. And me forgive God, the things that I was thinking and, just all that stuff, man, whatever. So, man, it's real, man.
It's real. Man.
Yeah, for sure.
The other day, I just realized that everybody who knows me, I've always been open about my love for my Auntie Debbie. That was my best friend.
Yeah. Hey, that's my dog. We got the same birthday. Man. We got the same birthday, man. That's my dog. Ooh. Yeah, that's my dog.
I started realizing last month this month, like anxiety and depression was on a height. I was like, yo, what's going on?
Yeah.
And I started realizing like time was getting closer to her birthday. And then her death date is next month.
Yeah.
And just remembering that when we walked in and we saw her and she was gone.
Yeah.
Like I've never seen anybody in that state before. You know how we go to the funerals and we always see them made up and like we prepare ourselves for that.
Mm-hmm.
But having to see that and not be prepared, you know, that was some PTSD. And I didn't realize it until literally a couple weeks ago. And what my therapist told me was sometimes you can feel like it'll be in your body. Like you can feel that PTSD in your body. Pain will come because of the fact that you got trauma stuck in your body that's trying to get out. And so like and then today we saw Rich Homie Quan, famous rapper who died of an OD today, you know? And it's like we have all men, but especially black men who are like trying to release this trauma in ways that is horrible.
Unreal. Unreal.
You know, and then it ends up being something where you have a premature death because of the fact that you haven't been able to release it. So just hearing y'all's transparency is like, yo, somebody gonna get like healed.
And see, God gives us pain for a reason, man. You know what I'm saying? You got this ache, like you just said, in your body. Hey, the pain is there, for a reason. God is putting this pain in your body, wherever you putting it at, your hand, your stomach, your leg, whatever. He putting it there for a reason. So the thing is not to ignore it or work through it, or like Neil said earlier, you know what I'm saying? Just be tough. I'll be all right, man. Let me go drink some milk or you know, smoke tested or something, man, whatever. Hey, all right, nah, man. Hey, he doing that because he tapping on you, telling you, hey, man, hey, homeboy, hey, you need to do something, man. Hey, you need to go to the doctor. Hey, you need to go talk to people, man. You know, discuss this with somebody, man, or whatever. And like Neil said, he got people he can talk to or whatever. So hey, you need to go talk to these people, man. And again, you got to find someone that's not gonna be judgmental, someone that's you know, they got your best interests at heart or whatever with what y'all talking about and how y'all talking about it, whatever. And pretty much ain't nobody gonna know but you and him or whatever.
You got to find someone that you can trust with your mental nakedness.
Yeah, exactly.
That's basically what you're doing. When you talk to them, you getting undressed mentally in front of them. And think about it. When we were younger, it's times now that I knock on the bathroom door and open up the door because I hear the shower running, but I don't hear no music playing. I don't hear my son's voice. So again, my PTSD said, open up the door, just make sure you're good. Daddy, what you doing? I'm like, hey, homeboy, get out the phone on the toilet, number one. Get your butt in the shower. You got my water running, whatever. But
they don't come about that, man.
You know, it's like when you open up mentally to someone, you have to be sure that what you're going to share, someone's not going to weaponize your vulnerability.
Yeah.
That's a lot of times people, they hear and they throw it back up in your face, or they beat you up with.
Yeah, but with me, man, pretty much, I already know. I know for a fact, 100%, that Cornelius crazy. And everybody else know Cornelius crazy. So what he tell me, they already know he's crazy. So I ain't got to tell it. They already know this, man. I ain't got to tell it.
So, and one other thing, the one person that, you know, as you said, Greg, you said find somebody to talk to. Again, it's two people that I really know that I can go to and they won't form any judgment. But the only person that I 100% guarantee ain't forming no judgment is God.
Yeah, man.
I didn't talk to him, boy. Now,
and you want to talk to him first.
It's human nature. We talk to him when we need him the most, right? We talk to him when we in trouble, when we going through a situation. And when I went through my storm in the military and how I left the military, I spent so much time with that cat. As Greg tell me, man, God busy, man. God busy.
I got a lot going on, man. He got a lot going on.
I try to take up all this time because I'm a talker. But he gave me something that's helped me cope with having PTSD. And what he gave me was the fact that, and I ain't gonna preach because I ain't Reverend Robinson, I ain't Reverend Duncan, I ain't none of these preachers, but I'm telling you what the man gave
Come
me.
on.
He gave me the mindset that although we have this earthly PTSD, it's a requirement for us to have spiritual PTSD, right? The earthly PTSD is all the trauma and all the stuff that we done been through, but the spiritual PTSD comes from, remember I said earlier, I got that tattoo, I can't remember, but the spiritual PTSD is we got to remember what God and what Jesus went through for us on the cross.
Yeah.
You know, and that traumatic experience, that right there in itself is PTSD for me. And if you don't believe me, he gave me the acronym PTSD. I think it's Romans 12 and 1 and 2, where it says, present yourself as a living sacrifice, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, make your life a living demonstration. Hey, the P in PTSD is present your bodies as a living sacrifice, right? That's the S in PTSD. Be ye transformed, that's the T, and it says demonstration. So you got to present.
Ooh.
Hey,
Ooh.
yeah.
You got to have.
Hey, Terry,
Pass
what
that
Reverend Robinson
collection
say
plate
right
around
now?
again.
Yeah. Hey, what
You gotta have a
Reverend Robinson say
demonstration.
right now? Hey, preach, boy.
Preach,
Hey,
boy.
preach, boy.
So you got to have spiritual PTSD because think about it, man. You don't think Paul remembered all the people he had been crucified?
Yeah.
That's what kept him writing half of the New Testament. So I have spiritual PTSD as well as earthly PTSD. And any given day, it's a tug of war because the enemy try to come to steal, kill, and destroy. So he tried to take all my past and all the things that I've been through and remind me of that more than he'd have reminded me of what God brought me through. But then when I stopped long enough to really, sometimes I don't stop. Hey, I pick up the phone and he won't answer. And so, hey, I call his brother. He won't answer.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's how it be.
that's my first sign that God said, hey, I don't want you talking to them.
Yeah.
I want you talking to me. But I'm gonna pick up that phone and try to call one of them first because hey, Greg, God busy, man.
And I be telling man, hey man, hey homeboy, hey man, God got a lot of stuff going on, man. Hey, God busy, man. He ain't got time for all of that, man. Whatever. And I be trying to tell him, man, hey homeboy, hey, everything that you done did and hey, I done did or whatever. Hey, God, he done throw it in the sea of forgiveness, man. So hey, and this is why that's the east as the west. So hey, you going down there getting it, hey, nobody can't find it but you.
One of his best swimmers, man.
Exactly.
One
So,
of his
hey,
best
I'm not going to get mine, man. Let it stay down there. And then,
Yeah.
hey, like Sister Tina say, hey, when people come up to you, be like, hey, man, hey, ain't you, hey, so and so, didn't you do? Yeah, I did it. I was there. I know I did it. I
was there.
I know I did it, man.
And
Whatever.
had fun.
Hey, exactly. I had fun doing it. Hey, pretty much. Hey,
Drake said, I might have did what they said I did, but I'm not who they say I am.
not no more. Not no more. Yeah, not no more. And the thing is, hey, you better be glad I ain't that person. You better be glad I ain't that person for sure. You better be glad I ain't that person. But man, hey, with God, hey, Kenise done preach, man. So I might well go ahead and tell it what up, man.
Come on.
But hey, with God, man, hey, like you was talking about Sister Debbie, man, or whatever, hey, man, homeboy, one of the sweetest souls you know, man, whatever, hey, and Reb bring her up, hey, at least once a month.
Now she had her good Sunday words now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. But hey, with the little PTSD thing and God is right there in the mix, man. Hey, with my mom, man, whatever. Hey, the closest person that I know that the closest person to God that I know or whatever. Hey, homeboy, I couldn't have went through this or I still probably be like we would do back in the day. I'll probably be back in the room with the lights off, with a liquor bottle, just drinking, just doing all that, man. What up? I'm like, hey, God, man, because truth be told, man, I was mad at God for years for taking my sister, man. I'm talking about years. Hey, I ain't forget him, man. Probably 10, 15 years later or whatever. But homeboy, when he said, pretty much, it's Betty Jean time, her number up or whatever. I just told him, man, and like we was talking about, Kenise just said, we got to talk to him, all the time. And the thing is, you got to talk to him in the good times, and you got to talk to him in the bad time. But mostly you need to talk to him in the good time, man, when things going good, whatever. That's when we stray away from God, man, because we feel like, we got it going on, and we can do whatever we want to do or whatever. But, man, I told God, I was like, homeboy, if you, take her, I'm going to be grateful. It's your will. I'm gonna be grateful. If you take her, I'm gonna be grateful, man. If you send her back, I'm gonna be even more grateful. So you know what I'm saying? Hey, and I just try to look at it in different ways, man. Hey, homeboy, hey, she good. She in the best hands she can be in. Ain't nothing I can do for her. You know what I'm saying? So hey, man, homeboy, God put that thing on my heart. I was like, hey, homeboy, hey, I'm good. And everybody was asking, hey, Greg, hey, you good, man? Hey, you good, man? I'm sorry. You know whatever. Hey, homeboy, hey, I'm good, man. So
let me
I know Benny G good, so I'm good.
I want to speak to something that you said, but I got a question that I think I know the answer to, but I'd rather you say it to confirm what I'm thinking. At what part during Auntie's sickness did you get angry?
What part? Hey, homeboy, hey, pretty much, hey, after she had the stroke that Saturday morning, hey, whatever, hey, man, hey, like Steve Harvey said, and I tell Reb all the time, hey, homeboy, I ain't all the way saved yet, man, because hey, homeboy, hey, when the doctor came out there and said, hey, she's gonna be like this right here, and because she was like at the time she wasn't moving, she wasn't talking or nothing like that right there, right? And the doctor was like, hey, well, we did 3 passes, hey, and she gonna be like this or whatever, ain't nothing that we can do or whatever. I'm like, hey, homeboy, hey, who you talking to like that? Number one, and I know you ain't talking about my mama because my mama ain't gonna be like this. So hey, homeboy, I'm not only angry with him, I'm angry with God because God didn't allow him to come out here and tell me this because hey, you know how we be, man, or whatever. Hey, like when somebody died, like hey, Miss Debbie, hey, you probably would have been like, hey, man, homeboy, ain't nobody bad enough to come out here and tell me, hey, my Aunt Debbie, man. No, not me. Hey, homeboy, I kill everybody in here. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, exactly. Hey, homeboy. So I was, hey, homeboy, I was on fire then. I was on fire because I actually left the hospital and came home.
You come. Exactly. So exactly. I asked that question because my very own spouse is going through something. You know, she lost her mom in 2015, and so lately she's been dealing with some things, and you know, my wife quick to tell me, "Hey, I ain't one of your clients, Kenneth. It's like, hey, I know, you know, you got this.
Trying to help everybody, man.
You got these degrees and all this kind of stuff, but I ain't one of your clients." But for the first time that I can remember, the other day when I was just checking in on her, like, "You all right?" She was like, "Nah, I ain't all right." I said, "Well, you mind if hey, I look at something and share it with you and we kind of comb through it?" And she was like, "Yeah, that would be great." I knew then that was the first indication, hey, she was in the hole. She was in the hole. I had to jump down in the hole with her. So I did some research on the grieving process, and one of the key stages of grief is anger. Right? Anger. It's denial at first. It's denial that, hey, what is going on is not going on. You got abandonment. Like you said, you went home. You didn't want to be around nobody. You want to be to yourself. You don't want to talk to nobody. Can't nobody say nothing to you. And you got denial, abandonment. You have blame. You feeling like guilt. What did I do? What could I have done? And then you have depression. You have depression. But again, like I said, depression thrives in privacy. And then the last stage of grief is acceptance. And some people, or all people, grieve at different rates of speed. But one thing is said about grief is grief from a current situation can trigger grief from a past situation, especially if it wasn't fully healed. So people say, well, what's being healed? When you can talk about the situation and no longer shed tears, that's a good indication that you've healed. Because remember I said earlier, hey, tears are just words the heart can't express. And normally a person who grieving that bad, hey, they just gonna cry. Because they don't even have the words. They can't find the words to describe what they're feeling. So I said that because you mentioned it earlier, and you mentioned it again about the anger aspect. And that's something that I told my wife the other day. So as we went through the things, hey, she was just in tears. And she was listening to me almost like, hey, you kind of know what you're talking about. But two, she was just admitting to where she was in these different stages. And I had to apologize to her because when she shared with me before what she was dealing with, I tried to find excuses for someone who was causing the pain in her life. And although they're still alive, you don't have to be deceased or expired on this earth to be why someone is grieving. It could be a relationship.
Yeah.
Basically, anything that's a loss, you grieve. People grieve their job.
Yeah, exactly.
How am I going to take care of my family? How am I going to provide for my kids? How am I going to pay this next mortgage or rent or car note and stuff like that? So grief is a real thing, but we as a people don't know how to properly grieve. Not that there's necessarily a right or a wrong way, but again, us men, we think I could do it myself. I don't gotta ask for no help.
Yeah.
You put all that stuff into every relationship that you interact with, your kids and all that kind of stuff, man. And it's
and my mental thought was, hey, like you said, when I was angry or whatever, and I came to the conclusion that, hey, you know, hey, this was gonna happen for real, and it was happening or whatever. Hey, you instantly get mad at God,
man.
And hey, you be like, hey, man, hey, God, so you gonna take my mama, the best mama on this earth, and then you got cats out here that's got kids, ain't trying to do nothing for them, ain't don't want to do nothing for them, hey, just all the above, and you gonna leave them down here, and you gonna take my mama.
Well, hey, I've experienced loss. I've experienced loss from a close relative, but I'm gonna ask you two this because y'all brought up two key people in your life that you've lost. And I ask these some questions I ask as my therapist tell me, I already know the answer to it, but I need for you to confirm it. They taught you obedience. Your aunt taught you obedience. Auntie Betty Jean taught you obedience. So if they were obedient in answering God, calling them and telling them what to do, you won't want them to be obedient?
You say, are we gonna want them to be obedient?
Would you not want them to be obedient?
That's a hard question. Yeah, I'm with you, Kurt. Nope, I want you here. I want you here. Nah. Hey, tell God no. Tell God no.
Your selfish nature.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, let me go a step further then.
But what I tell you,
you knowing them two, they want to be with you or they want to be with God.
Yeah. Hey, number one, and it wasn't the aspect of her being with God because I think it was the second time she went to the hospital. And we was in the emergency room. And what did she say? She couldn't hardly breathe. She was having problem breathing, and something else was going on, man. Well, then I was like, "Hey, Betty Jean, hey, what you doing, man? Why you got us over here?" And it was like a Friday afternoon or whatever. She was like, "Hey, boy, hey, I thought I was about to leave here or whatever." So I was like, "Hey, so you trying to go see Jesus?" She was like, "Hey, nah, I don't want to go see him just yet or whatever." I said, "Well, you acting like it or whatever." But hey, I told you, hey, of course, I ain't really necessarily think that she wanted to go see Jesus, but hey, I told you, it gave me some clarity, hey, and it took the anger away, and all that stuff, whatever, hey, for sure. And I know this right here without a doubt, like I told you before. Hey, homeboy, I'll put everything on it. I'll put everything on it. The house, the dog, the cars, hey, everything, man, whatever. Hey, she wanted to see Tammy Peterson.
Yeah.
Hey, she wanted to see her daughter. So, hey, when I came to that conclusion, hey, homeboy, I was good, man. I was good. I was like, I know she's going to see her. Man, hey, I'll be good. I done had all this time. Hey, I'll be good.
And what's your other motto? Hey, if she ain't getting in, hey, I don't stand a chance.
No, man. Hey, ain't none of us getting in. If she ain't getting in, ain't none of us getting in. We might well up. Hey, and I used to tell her, because hey, she used to always be fussing about the church folk, hey, doing this, not doing that, hey, and all that stuff, whatever. I used to be like, hey, mom, hey, if you feel like this right here, hey, you need to go back to back in the day when you was drinking them Pepsi Colas, smoking them Salem Lights or whatever. Hey, you need to start back doing all that stuff, whatever. Hey, man, because hey, if you gonna go to hell, you might well have fun. Hey, you might well do all that stuff right there, man. Whatever. Hey, don't you trying to get into heaven, they knowing you ain't gonna get in.
Right.
Hey, fooling with these people. Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
But before I turn it back up, because I actually want, like, if y'all have any questions, anything, I want y'all to get, because I know we had an hour and 14. I know the time is different, but one thing that I want to like ask y'all, both of y'all, is what's one thing that you would want to say to a young guy, a young girl who is like trying to find their way through life? And you know, I heard y'all talk about your journeys all throughout the show, but just anything that y'all have.
Man, my thing would be, man, hey, man,
I'm about to put you on the big screen.
Hey, don't let nobody tell you you can't do something, you can't be something, hey man, we done had one black president, a man black president.
Come on.
Hey, and if we do what we're supposed to do, man, hey, we're gonna have a woman black president, man. So hey, don't let nobody just deter you from doing anything that you want to do, anything that you want to be, man. Hey, homeboy, you can do it. In this world today, hey, homeboy, you can do it. And with this internet, man, hey, you can do anything that you want to do, man. Whatever, and it's help out there for you or whatever. Because hey, you got podcasts like Doing With Purpose podcast. Hey, you got Turk podcast, man, the favorite internet cousin, man, whatever, that's willing to help any and everybody. So man, hey, don't let nobody stop you from being all you can be, man. Don't let nobody stop you from being all you can be or whatever. Hey, homeboy, hey, ride that thing till the wheels fall off, man. And then when the wheels fall off, hey, call one of us, hey,
come on,
get back on, man, and hey, homeboy, we'll go from there. For sure. Yeah.
Oh man, that person probably would never leave my area because I talk them to death, man.
Yeah.
But if I had to tell a young guy or female something that would help them stay on that journey and encourage them, it would be very simple. Hey, trust the process, man.
Yeah.
Don't rush it. This microwave society, this fast food society we live in. I was having a conversation with a young man, and it was similar to this question. I don't know how we got on the topic, but he's an avid baseball player, and he was talking about ending high school and college and trying to be a walk-on and all that kind of stuff. He was a little discouraged. I told him, hey, homeboy, hey, trust the process. And I know it sounds like so simplistic, but when you hit the ball in life, you don't run to third base. You run to first. You don't hit the ball and run straight to second. That's not how the game was designed. Hey, hit the ball, and when you hear that ball hit at the sound of your bat, I was always taught, man, run with everything you got. Run to first base, but look at the first base coach and see if that person is waving you on the second. And you might have to slide. You might have to stay and hold you. You got to be prepared for what's next, but you can't spend so much time at what's coming next that you ain't in the now. And you can't focus so much on the now that you don't know what's coming next. And you got to have a balanced life, but you got to trust the process. It's going to mold you. It's going to shape you. And it's going to help prepare you for what's to come. Now, if you get ahead of God, then you on your own. You ain't got no liability. But if you stay in the process that God, and people, I don't care what religion, belief system they have, you have that intuition. They might call it Buddha. They might call it Muhammad. I call it God, Jesus Christ. Listen to what the Holy Spirit is telling you to do. And you'll know. If you weren't easy about it, don't do it, man. But trust the process, because the process has a rhyme and a reason for what it's serving in your life. But don't get too far ahead of it, because you're going to be out there on your own. So, yeah, trust the process.
I appreciate that. Man, I love that.
Oh,
Before we end this, do y'all have any questions, any topics that y'all want to cover? Because this is a bounce off podcast. I want this to be like a dual podcast tonight.
Yeah, man, some of the stuff that we've talked about tonight. As we were talking, I grabbed my phone and put a little note here so I can go back and add it to our little notes section, because that's the topic. Not the topic, but that's the reason behind our generational conversations. We want to bring on individuals that can encourage you and motivate you and give you some insight into business aspects and what they're doing and how they made it. But the three of us just sat here and shared enough to help any young man or woman.
For sure.
And it was free. You ain't have to sign up for no therapy class. You ain't have to check your Blue Cross Blue Shield insurance card and pay for copay. This is just a life full of experiences, and we need more of it. We could sit around and have sat around and talked about things that had no meaning, no value.
Exactly. A whole bunch of foolishness.
Yeah.
So these type of conversations right here, man, are what Doing It With Purpose. It's the epitome of it. And so, we thank you for allowing us to come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Internet Cousin podcast, man, because
we gotta man, you gotta show us how to do this thing, man, so we can get
got y'all.
Yeah, and homeboy, so we can have you on the podcast with us, because you've always had a open invitation, man, to come on,
yeah.
man. But
Yeah.
I love
let
y'all,
the country on us or whatever, man.
So we
City
can,
on- yeah.
and we're gonna look into this and look into the software because what we use, it offers something like this, but I ain't quite figured it out. So we've been, you know, on the road.
He asked me earlier about is it gonna be our podcast or here? I was like, hey, homeboy, we old school, man. We don't know how to do this stuff yet, man. We need you. We need
Man,
you.
I saw Greg doing the camera at church. I said, come on, man. He on the camera now.
Yeah, hey, homeboy, they working me down there, man. They working me down there. Yeah, they working me down there.
now.
Yeah, they
For
working
sure,
me down.
man. For sure.
Just a shameless plug. I got some music coming out, so I want to be on the podcast when y'all get.
Oh yeah, hey, homeboy. Hey, you know,
We got another little fellow we need to link up with.
well, I want you to
okay.
sing. Yeah, you know I want you to sing.
My
Yeah.
wife's little cousin, man. Hey, I might collab. He making some rap music that's decent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's not.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, yeah.
listenable, and it's got a message to it and stuff
Come on.
like that. So,
Yeah, for
most
sure.
definitely, man.
Hey,
But
homeboy, I heard the new. I can't think about what it is now, but I heard the new little cut today. Hey, you drop. I can't. So what's the name of it?
Freeing myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. The man done went. Hey, the man done went country on us. Hey,
Come
he went
on.
gospel, done went country. Hey, man, homeboy. Hey,
you got to
doing
reach
this-
all people, man. You got to reach
Yeah,
all.
for real, for real. I
Yeah.
told him, hey, man, homeboy. Hey, we need that check at the hall, man. We trying to get some.
Come on.
Yeah,
Ready to write it.
yeah, for
I
sure,
love
man.
y'all,
Man,
I
homeboy.
appreciate y'all.
Hey man, we appreciate you, man, for having us on, man. Whatever, hey, homeboy. Hey, the favorite internet cousin, man. Hey, I know you went off to school, man, and did your thing, man, whatever, learning, hey, all new stuff or whatever. Because I remember you telling me first time, hey, homeboy, when you got out there, hey, you thought you could sing, you didn't even know how to sing.
Hey,
man.
know how to sing.
Exactly.
Singing
So, hey,
wrong the
man,
whole time.
hey, can't wait till you bring that back to the hall,
Oh,
man.
I
Can't wait till you
bro.
bring it. Yeah. Because, hey,
I'm like
homeboy, you
shocked.
actually, hey, to be totally honest with you, hey, you actually broke my heart because, hey, I'm thinking when you was on tour or whatever. So I was like, hey, I'd actually come. I was like, hey, so homeboy, he should be home in a couple weeks or whatever.
Yeah.
I know he gonna stop through his seals. Nah, he about to go back to school. I'm like, what? Man, this dude ain't coming to see us at all.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah,
Oh,
man. So,
That
yeah.
schedule was like back to back. I said,
Yeah.
But
Oh, yeah,
I
that's what's
gotta
up,
come.
though. Hey, go on, get it in. Go on,
Yeah.
get it in, man.
Yeah.
Go on,
Hey,
get it in.
work-
You know,
work
we
hard
here for you.
Play later, man.
Yeah.
Before I leave though, I want y'all to tell them where they can find you guys, where they can subscribe to your YouTube, Facebook, all of that.
Yeah, so we're on Facebook. We're on all social medias, man. We're on Facebook under Doing It, all one word. Doing It is one word.
Yeah.
With Purpose is the second word. And so we have a link tree there that you can click on the link tree. It's going to take you to the Instagram, the Twitter, Podbean, Apple, Spotify, all of them, all the platforms, YouTube. And same thing, if you go under Doing It with Purpose under Instagram, you'll see our link tree. Or just go to
YouTube.
HTTPS doingitwithpurpose.com. We're there. We got a website. We got to update it, get it more functional, but we do have one at the moment. And we're open to suggestions. We're not one of these organizations where, you know, we think you ain't good enough to come on, whatever. We just ain't gonna put out mess. You know what I'm saying? It's enough. If you want drama and you want mess, hey, CNN, Fox News, hey, them channels free with your cable package. But we're gonna try to put something out that you can chew on and hopefully do something with. So we got a lot of great topics coming up. Some financial stuff, some more business entrepreneur type stuff, some relationship stuff. Man, we got it all. We got some vlogs coming up. This Sunday we'll be in the hills.
Yeah. 803 Fresh, man. 803 Fresh, Mika Jaquel, Frank Johnson. You can hate on me.
Yeah.
We're gonna be down there with them, man. Hey, this Sunday, man. Hey, getting it done.
Steak Eyes Music Production.
Yeah, Steak Eyes Music Production, man. We're gonna be down there with him, man. Or whatever. We want to do this right here, man. And hey, we want to do it live so people can, just chime in, like pretty much like a live where people can go chime in, ask questions, hey, we can give answers or whatever. Hey, You know, Cornelius probably gonna get a wrong answer, but hey, I get it right answer, man. Hey, I'll
Give
straight
you what
that
I
out.
can give you, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Give
Hey,
you what I can give you.
Yeah, I would love that, man.
Yeah.
Y'all already be on Facebook walking.
Yeah.
Y'all be-
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey,
help
just
as
like
well.
hey, like we talked about on Generation Conversation, hey, life done got in the way where hey, he either got something going on, I got something going on, whatever. Hey, but we need to get back out there, man. Whatever.
That's the
'cause, hey,
devil.
we
That's
can
the
be
devil.
active. Yeah.
That's the devil. The devil saw two people trying to focus on their health, and we motivate other people. Come on, man. That cat, hey, almost like old boy on Players Club. Hey, get on out there, devil. Get on out. Yeah, we got to beat him right now. So, but yeah, but again, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for trusting us with followers, and like I say, man, do the same. Especially, matter of fact, we got to make a commitment. If you come back to town, you got to come to the cave. The origination. You got to come on and sit down and sit on the couch and tell us what's going on out there in Cali. So
I got y'all, man.
Definitely gotta quote this music or whatever. You got to sing, hey, you got to give me at least one song, man.
Oh, I got you.
At least one song.
Yeah. I appreciate y'all though.
Man, appreciate you, man.
Make sure y'all go follow them. All of the information will be pinned on the video and also in the description. But this is the 3rd episode of Favorite Internet Cousin Podcast, and y'all, I can't wait for y'all to see it. I appreciate y'all so much for coming to just talk. The conversation was great. I love y'all.
Oh yeah.
Until next time.
Making us proud, man. Keep making us proud.
Come on.
Yeah. Represent.
I appreciate it.
Oh yeah. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah.